Hey, AfterBuzzers! It's the Shameless After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. It's Season 8, Episode 7, Occupy Fiona. So much to talk about. Jurgens goes to court, and lots more, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are missing Haley Clover in action today, but we've got an almost full panel, starting with JJ Jurgens.
Hi guys, glad to be back again. You can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter. Yeah, JJ.Jurgens on Instagram.
Hey guys, Juliet. You can find me at Bonjour Juliet on Instagram.
There you go. And I'm at Phil Svitek. That's also my name, with the at included. What did we think of tonight's episode?
God, very emotional, but a lot of fun tidbits in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like tonight. I think like you always say, oh, episode 8, start working towards that. So I felt the kind of the darkness, kind of getting there. So I liked it. I thought we dove a little deeper today and had some good stuff this episode.
Yeah, it's interesting that they keep raising still a lot of questions. We're not getting a lot of things answered, apart from maybe Kevin V.
Yeah.
Which easy storyline to sort of kind of answer right there. But let's we'll start with some of the smaller plot lines and work to build up to the bigger ones, and we'll end on a fun one with Kevin V. So let's talk about Debs. She's dealing with Dr. Dick. Literally, that's his license plate. I mean, I wish I had the gumption to have a license plate like that.
Oh my gosh.
What do we think about Dr. Dick? And why was he such a dick?
Yeah.
Obnoxious human being. Oh my gosh. I'm really, really happy how this storyline kind of all played out. Just at the end, I was just like, yes, that was really a badass move on Debbie's part. Yeah.
Why did it, well, go ahead, your perspective.
I agree with you. I enjoyed this one too. I like that she, she fought to get her job, to keep her job, and I liked where she was going with it. But then I thought that guy was such a dick, and that so he deserved what he got. So I was proud of her too.
It was so innovative. Like,
yeah,
we've seen her and people in her family mess with others, but this was next level. I was like, look at you putting your skills that you've learned in school for another reason, but go. It was worth it. All the money, kind of was worth it.
The one part that I didn't quite understand is why she quit her job at the end. I mean, Grant, just be fired instead of saying like that you admitting it, because at that point, like, it's not like she could have necessarily been found out right away. I don't know. I just thought about that.
I think it was a done deal, and she knew it. I love that scene. It was done. She was gonna get fired, so might as well quit. And within that instance, it was like make or break 10 seconds. So she was like, I quit. You're gonna fire me.
She might not. You're saying she could have played it off like it wasn't her.
Yeah, like,
totally.
I don't know.
There's cameras everywhere in those things.
Well, but if there's cameras, because I thought the same thing, but the cameras would have saw that guy rip it out and throw it, right? So he would have got in trouble for that, and clearly he didn't. So I don't know. Then I thought, well, maybe there aren't cameras in that one garage. Like normally there would be, but
that was my one thing I was surprised about, because I was like, oh, you think that storyline would take her? The guy would get arrested, or there'd be some kind of resolution, but he's back in the parking lot. And it's like, how did he even get in? They must have his license plate, nothing. So that was kind of strange, but overall, got a good loss, so it was worth it. I'm down with the little holes in the story. It's okay.
yeah.
Fair enough. And overall, while we had a scare with Debs in the past couple episodes, it's good to see her that she's sort of back on her feet and normal again,
Yeah.
So it's something that we do you guys like that? Because we talked about her sort of wanting to be less of a mom and more about herself, but where do we stand on that?
I like her. I actually like her being more of a mom. I'm a little concerned that the baby's just hanging out at her job. Like that seems a little odd, but I mean, I guess it's all right. But yeah, I mean, I liked her this episode. I mean, I thought she seemed healthier. I didn't like seeing her doing the drugs last time with the baby. So I like seeing that. I felt that she seemed more with it this episode.
More in tune.
Yeah.
I love Debbie on drugs. I think that's great.
Not what I thought you were gonna say.
I'm all for it, man. No. Yeah, I think it's good to see her be a mom, and I think it's kind of cool that she gets to have her kid by her side. Two birds, like she gets to kind of juggle that, and like that's really neat. So I really hope that she finds her next gig is going to allow her to do that as well, because it was a good job. So that's even though it made us laugh, I'm kind of nervous about what's to come.
We'll see for sure. All right. Speaking of money and earning money, let's talk about Carl. Every time they open up the show and they do their little recap, we keep getting the basement plot line as part of that recap. And we haven't really done too much with it, except finally this time around we do. And the girl's name is Cassidy, or, well, I guess that's her real name, right? Because the dad said so. And you know, she says, let's do this elaborate heist. Well, not elaborate heist. Let's just do basically a ransom thing, and you'll get the money, and you'll get to go to cadet school. And then some. Well, what did you guys think of this?
Again, I thought that was another storyline that had a little holes in them. And so I was thinking about that.
Yeah,
actually.
it did.
Yeah. We'll get to that later,
But
Phil. I know it's your favorite part. It's okay. No, it's true that, like, I was thinking about that when I was watching the show as a whole. We have these storylines that are really entertaining, but they have some holes. You're like, wait, but how is that really possible? Like, they're kind of taking that to a next level. So I think you see that in general in television when people even get into the later seasons. And I feel like Shameless is still really raw, but it's starting to get kind of like a soap opera layer to it. Does that make any sense? Do you get what I'm trying? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, so. I thought that was interesting because it was like, how has he gone to that many people? Her family. How did she get there? Because it's not supposed to be voluntary. And it was weird. What do you think?
You know, I know what you're saying with the little soap opera level at this point. Like, I think we're getting pulled a little away from how Shameless has been in the past. And, yeah, I don't know what to think about this one. I mean, I love stories with Carl, but the second she came up with this idea, I thought, oh no, this is, you know, not going to be good for him. But I mean, it clearly worked out for him. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he's going to maintain that. I got to think about this one a little bit. I'm not quite sure what I think about this storyline.
To me, it's interesting. There's that dichotomy. She says, you know, I can't go back. It's hell. SAT prep. I can't go on another cruise to Greece and all of these things. And when you look at Carl's life, he's never done anything close to those things.
But they sound torturous, Phil.
I'm sure they do.
Oh my God, it was awful. I can't believe it.
That's well. I'm curious in that regard to see how much of a commentary they really speak about the two different worlds and how much, because, you know, the Gallaghers have struggled their whole life in hopes of maybe attaining something anywhere close to that. And, you know, we're getting that with Liam's storyline a little bit. And so this is just a kind of different version of it. And hopefully they'll play it out kind of more to that perspective rather than just Carl being seduced by this girl who's essentially a succubus.
Do you think this relationship is gonna stay for a while?
We'll see. I mean, Carl's Carl. He's a 16-year-old guy.
He's gonna go away to school anyways, at some point. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I have to say, it was kind of disturbing though, seeing a 16-year-old with their pants down, and it was just a little much.
Okay.
That was like a 16-year-old butt, like way too close to my face. I didn't need to see that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I mean, we just seen the rest of the Gallaghers having sex left and right, so it's, you know, at that age. Like, if you look at Lip and Ian, and they were that age too.
Were they really?
Yeah, when we first got to know them, I mean, it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think when they were at that age, I was that age, so it wasn't disturbing. They were just like regular people. And now that I'm like a little bit older, he's 16, and I'm 23, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be seeing this little boy doing these dirty things. Damn.
You'll make a good mother.
Why?
Because you won't, I don't know.
Because I won't want to see my kid.
No, because you'll be like, you can't be having sex at 16.
Oh no, you totally can't. I don't mind. Like, they've alluded to him having sex way before. It was the first time it actually disturbed me because we saw a lot of it. It wasn't PG. To this point, we've only seen PG, and I kind of like it at that with 16-year-olds. But on the flip side, my 17-year-old self loved the show when it first started because there were a lot of people my age having sex, and that was very entertaining. So there we go.
All right, fair enough.
Deep explanation.
Anything else to talk about? Well, we see the dad again, the Cassidy's dad.
I think maybe. I mean, I think if she continues this act for a while and we see more of, and if they do start having a relationship, that yeah, I think we'll hear the dad side again later on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it's interesting. I think this is not ending well for Carl. I don't know. I think he knew right away that she was trouble, but just again, his 16-year-old self couldn't help it, because she's like, "Ooh, you are happy," or whatever she says.
Yeah. Especially as the warning that we got from the dad, that he got from the dad. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right, let's talk about good old Canada and Francis.
Oh, Frank.
A couple of things here. I was very nervous because we've talked ad nauseum about Frank this season in terms of him getting a job, and when is he, once push comes to shove, is he gonna go the other route? Is he gonna go back to being Frank? And as soon as he takes that Jameson shot and he has the bottle, you're like, oh crap, this was too easy. Especially seeing Ewan's storyline and all that tied into it just became all the more real. And yet now he's got his own different business venture. So where do we land on him in terms of, is he stable? Is he back to the old Frank? Is he somewhere in between? What's going on?
Yeah, I think it's a new gray area we're heading into, because he's setting up an illegal business, so that's a step back from working in the wherever he was working. But yet he didn't seem completely drunk. But we did see him take several shots. I don't know. It makes me nervous. Francis is kind of turning towards Frank more.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Francis got a little dose of reality, though, when he thought he could just go to the next business and, show him how much he wanted, and since he was
worth it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do appreciate that it didn't just get handed to him, and he had to realize what it's like out there right now. But I was nervous too when he took that bottle. I thought, oh no, because I don't want him to go back to the Frank that he's been for so many seasons. But again, just like Carl, I don't think starting to do this illegal work is not going to end up well for him. I'm sure going to be a lot of drama or trouble that he gets into once we do get him to Canada.
And we've seen him do these various adventures before, right? To make money. So it's not like a new concept overall. It's just that perhaps he now might be a little bit sober in doing so. I thought he was going to charge a lot more than $200 to transport him to Canada, but I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is. If he plans to sustain this or not. Obviously, it's Frank, so he could. But it's not going to pay off the phone bills, the credit cards, the car payments. We got to make some money.
Gas,
Right.
all this, yeah.
I couldn't help but go back and think of the first season when he woke up in Canada, and he was so mad and he wanted to get out of Canada. Now he's got the flag, he's got the hat, he's all for Canada. So I thought that was a funny twist. And then also I thought it was a good statement. I mean, not good, but it was a statement on current healthcare in the United States, how everyone wanted in. Everyone, he's setting up a drug, they're drugs, but medicine to be shipped across illegally, and everybody wanted a piece of that pie, man. That was kind of sad.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you there. Like I said, it gets me nervous. It raises the question of what's going to happen with Frank. And to put a button for me on it, I'm less concerned about Frank for Frank, but more so the family, because I think they, out of anybody, just need Frank to not be his old self.
Yeah, but I feel like they're all doing their own thing. I think Liam's the only one who would really suffer from that.
If we can save one Gallagher somehow, please, let's do it.
It's true. And he's so young and sweet.
So, yeah, he doesn't need to. Let's just keep picking up hoes with Liam, and we'll be fine. Ho-hos, of course.
Ho.
All right. Now we get into the more sadder storylines with Ewan's, Lip, and Brad. Where do we want to start to unpack this?
A lot of throw up.
Yeah.
A lot of throw up.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it just makes it so sad, that it has that much control that the alcohol has that much control over him, Just.
Well, it starts in an just even the way Brad was. He's literally taking care of two kids that are complete narcissists and can't help themselves. You know, just even that the way Brad's in the kitchen on the ground at the start of the show, and then at the end when he's just, you know, being made a sandwich from Lip.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, and while that's sad enough, you know, right now Brad's just kind of there, but he's not in the way too much in the sense of hurting anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if I had to like summarize his age, he's probably like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just that's what it is. Whereas Ewan's, oh boy, that was some of I think that for me the most powerful line of the season, I guess. You know, if you don't like what you see, don't look.
Yeah. He's completely given up, and he is, in a way, he's in tune with what he is, and yeah, he didn't even want to try. And when Lip was like, "How the heck were you able to sneak booze?" Because he was gone for what, 10 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
Not even, right? I don't remember him leaving. Like, it even shocked me. I'm like, how is this possible?
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, a drunk always finds a way.
Mm.
Yeah, very powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, and the fact that he, you know, didn't want to go to jail so badly, but you know that he was drunk and the night before and late for court, but then even being in the courtroom isn't sober enough. You think like once you're sitting in there and you're that close to being put away that maybe even then you could have the power not to take a drink, but the fact that he still can't have that power in there is pretty huge, you know, facing jail right in the other out that door. So,
and that what I appreciated, you know, you don't necessarily know at that point how it's gonna go. Lip does. He gives the best speech he could have given. Apart from that, everything else is out of his control. Poor Brad tried to be as truthful as he could, but he couldn't. What was he to do?
yeah.
He knew the truth of the matter that the guy was drunk only 20 minutes ago or whatever. And so, yeah, it just put him all in an awkward position. But I don't know. I guess what do we think's gonna happen with Lip and Ewans? Like, is he just gonna
I think he
accept
I think he lays low for a bit. I don't. Maybe he'll go visit him in jail, but I don't see him like next episode. I don't see him visiting him then. I think he takes some time. Is still with Brad and they're focused. And I'm hoping Lip's gonna turn towards himself a little bit more, because they did explain that, you know, part of recovery and there's some narcissism where you help others to help yourself, but still he's I think to that to an extreme. He still needs to tune back to him. So I'm hoping that's what we're gonna see.
Yeah, I agree, totally agree with that.
I'm still interested. Remember, I'm surprised we haven't seen any interactions with the boyfriend of the girl he liked, and I'm blanking on her name, because to me, the fact that he never took the drugs and he wanted to be Lip's friend.
Sierra's
Yeah.
guy.
I think of all people, he can actually be a decent ally in this time. Because he made it just like Lip today, where he says like, "Yeah, I want to fucking drink. But I'm not doing it." I think that would help him, because obviously Ewans and Brad both faltered, whereas he didn't.
Well, did you think tonight that it sounded like something happened with him? Because Sierra was all upset when she, you know, gave him coffee, and he's like, "You want to talk about it?" She's like, "No, it fucked up." I mean, I didn't know if that meant that something happened with her relationship, because I felt like when he left, she definitely was kind of giving him the look a little bit. Like, you know, he looked good in the suit, and she's kind of, I don't know, I got a moment there.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, misery loves company, and I think she, you know, she is always going through stuff, don't get me wrong, but she hasn't been relying on him. But I think that she sees him in a suit, like you were mentioning. She sees him really actively taking care of someone else. She kind of maybe misses that. You know, he's always taking care of her. So I think she wanted a piece of that. And she probably definitely is going through something. But I just thought that was, you know, the timing is kind of like, oh, yeah, misery loves company, I think.
And I think, yeah, I don't know if related. For me, I think it might be too much of a deeper reading, other than the fact that, yeah, good for you, Lip, and all the things I wanted. It's just a matter of timing. Like, from her perspective, all the things I wanted for you, you're finally doing. And yeah, from her perspective, that's a sexy thing. And I don't know where the other guy plays into this or not. I don't think it has to be mutually exclusive. So we'll see. But definitely for me, the Ewan, this is the storyline that I'm most interested in. This is the storyline that I think is most acted well. And I can appreciate it. And I mean, essentially, it's sad because you can see, he pointed out last time, Lip is fighting for his own life through this. So, we'll see how it plays out. I don't know. I got nothing besides that. By the way, for you at home listening or watching, do feel free to comment. Let us know your opinions on these storylines, both the comedic and the dramatic. And also, just in general, help us promote the show, both in terms of Shameless, but both also in terms of our after show. If you haven't, for some reason, subscribed, by all means, do so.
And shame on you.
Yeah. You can be shameless in a lot of things. Just don't be shameless and not subscribe.
Exactly.
So, absolutely. All right. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about what the title of the episode is basically referring to, which is Fiona and Ian's tiff, which turns into more than a tiff.
Yeah, definitely not a tiff. That's a full-blown ass fight. And that's next level. I don't know if you guys ever would, fight with your siblings, if you have any siblings, but did you ever fight like that?
It's funny, I had that thought because when they're fighting, I'm like, yeah, my brother and I have gotten pretty bad sometimes, but I'm like, that would never, taking it to that level is...
Well, it gets pretty bad when you involve other people, and you see people involve others, but generally they're kind of friends of friends, or they're the in-betweeners. Like if both you and your brother had like a mutual friend, now he's kind of caught in the middle. These are just these are innocent kids, and a lot of other people's lives affected here because of this.
Yeah, but they got free pizza and $20.
I mean, that's all well and good. Not what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, very true. Well, we do have a good ending. They're releasing that new space, which is very exciting. But yeah, I don't know. I get Ian's point, but he was really taking it to a next level and like really trying to hurt Fiona and her prospects. So I thought that was much. I was hoping when I saw Fiona come with the truck,
excuse me,
bless you, that she taking all this stuff. I was hoping that she was just putting it somewhere else, and then the kids would come back. But it seems like she really threw it away, and I was like, oh man, you shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't. Maybe it's just somewhere else, and once the building's bought, then it'll just go there or something like that.
I felt like it was gone too by the way they.
Because the way they reacted. Because she could have been. She could have said like, listen, I know you're upset, but all the stuff's over there. She didn't correct him when he said you trashed it. Yeah.
And especially the look on on Trevor's face as well. I think Trevor was like, oh my God, you guys went there. Now this is all these kids had. These are the last things that they possibly owned. And this is, I feel like she took it to that level.
Well, I think all in all, Trevor's more upset at Ian because he calls him out. And we talked about this last episode. You keep saying you have the kids in mind, but you really don't. This does not involve them. And so I appreciate that from Trevor to call him out on it and where their relationship goes from here. I think Ian eventually will come to the realization that Trevor's right. Like, his job is to look out for these kids. And if that building was a good building, as he did, sign the lease and call it a day. As far as, where do you think this stems from for Ian? Is it really Monica?
I think he's still having issues with that. Yeah.
Because he mentioned, you know what, I'll just drop it because when there's more important stuff. Yeah. And we don't really go further than that. And all we've had to go off all this season is he's the only one that misses Monica.
Yeah. That moment and that look on his face, that one made me really scared for the next few episodes. I was glad to see him, causing fights, it looks like, in the trailer, but at least, because at that moment I thought, oh shoot, is this going to be a year where we actually maybe lose one of the Gallaghers again and like have deal with a suicide or something? Because I feel like he was feeling really like just alone, and you know, he says he's on his meds, but even how he's like, are you going to ask me every time I get mad if I'm not taking my med? I just feel like he's really, really struggling internally and just feeling like not connected to anyone really, and just kind of on his own.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's feeling, he can't, he's feeling so lonely. But I did appreciate that scene because I felt like he was forewarning her in a way.
Maybe. I mean, part of the reason why I did this was to get Trevor back. But it's not Trevor's job to, you know, I think Trevor's doing actually a good enough job of like, hey, you, like, I'm here to support you, but you are also not going about this the right way. You're putting other people's lives at risk, essentially. And
right.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Lip and Ian have always had a great relationship, especially early on. They've got two completely conflicting storylines at the moment, so it'll be tough for them to kind of touch base, but if anyone could, maybe it's Lip. I don't know. We'll see.
I thought that, I don't know, I mean, we've seen the Gallaghers go through a lot, and they all, even you know, in these episodes, they are going through a lot, but Lip, I feel like, was dealing with such dark stuff regarding, you know, all the struggles he's going through and people around him, that I feel like it's really a season where everyone's kind of drifting away and have their own strong storylines. I don't think they're really individuals.
I agree with you there. They gotta, to me, it was interesting because, you know, I would like to see Ian sort of make a life of his own too, the same way Fiona has. Because I think of all people, he's got a very steady job. He's concerned about the community, so I think he can do it in such a way as that, but he's got to just have a more level-headed approach to it than he's been having.
Right.
Do well, Ian.
Yeah, do well.
Huh?
Can we get to my favorite storyline?
Sure. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You introduce it.
Okay. We will talk about Juliet's favorite storyline, which is the only storyline left, so it should come as no shock. That is the Kev and V storyline.
Say it more demanding, Bill.
We're going to talk about the Kev and V storyline, by God. And if you guys don't talk with fervor and insight, then by God, I don't know what's going to happen.
French fries.
All right, go ahead.
I love this storyline mainly because I like when actors don't wear shirts. Second of all, I love Kevin V. And third of all, I can't say her freaking name. No
Svetlana.
Whatever. I don't like her. She wasn't there. Very happy about that. Which I thought was interesting because in the previous episode, they're having like sex 4 times in the morning, doing all these things. So I just thought it was interesting that she's completely gone. Does that mean Kevin V are, you know, really taking this time to work on themselves and like get this sex thing down? Had they told her, hey, take a break for a little, or like, don't come by? Is she not invited? But I feel like she would just show up. So a lot of questions left there for me. But I'll let you discuss more.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm glad that she wasn't there too, because I like to see them building this. I like to see, you know, Kev just going for it when he's always the best when he's willing to put on his outfits and try things. But yeah, but I was glad to see that it finally worked out in the end, because I was just afraid that it didn't seem like he was getting the grasp of, you know, what he needed to be doing for her.
Right. And it was really sweet how it all ended, because he, you know, they love each other so much, and obviously everybody knows that, and he's really trying and he keeps failing, and it was great that the way he succeeded was to be fully himself, right? He didn't have to put on a costume. He didn't have to like pretend, you know, that he was this person that he's not. He was able to like speak to his wife, and she was all into it. So that was really, really cool.
Well, it also showed his compassion for the kids. Because he literally started off with the laundry and one of the girls being allergic to that. And so it comes from a genuine place of concern for the family. Right. And he's able to take that and run with it.
Yeah, and that's actually, remember when after they had the babies, they were having a hard time getting intimate again. And was it I forget, was it Kevin that got turned on, or someone got turned on seeing them help with the kids?
I think yes.
Yeah, so that this
One or the
dynamic,
other, yeah.
one or the other, they turn each other on by being a family and, you know, helping each other out. So I thought that was really, really cool, like you mentioned.
And I like that hopefully that helps that they can grow on that, you know, and now this will help build the relationship, because if it was that she was turned on by the costumes, or then it'd have to like start this whole trail of, you know, what are we gonna do next? What can I come up with? What outfit next? And you know, this was just that, no, it's like that's what she's wanted. She's just wanted him to kind of just take control of, like,
I mean,
be
that's
a
what
man.
every girl
or,
wants,
right?
honestly.
Yeah.
So no surprise there. But I think that I can go back to the
Svetlana.
I go back to the Russian lady. She's coming back. Like, what's going? Is she gonna knock on the door? And they're like, you know, we're just gonna have sex with each other from moving forward. Like, what's going on? I
Now
wanna
at that
know.
point, Kevin's like, get out!
Yeah.
Right? No, I hope
And,
so though.
and V's just gonna like explode.
No, but really, that's what I would love to see, him like stepping in and as a man, and you know, even though like V enjoys the sex, like, you know, part of her is mad that she enjoys it, and so in a way he'd be protecting her and be like, no more, we're done. I'm the man in the house. Yes, good job, Phil.
There we go.
That was the best prediction yet.
Perfect. Anything else to add? I think all in all, their sex life is restored. All right, perfect.
Happy ending.
Happy ending.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. It's just a shame that he won't get to see it because he's from behind. But he'll hear it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure he's enjoying it from behind, and I wouldn't be too concerned if I were you.
And hopefully they had a couple more, so maybe some other positions as well.
Yeah, no, he's very happy.
All righty. Prediction time. Or actually, let's do a little bit of quick news.
Oh,
Not a lot of news,
We had
but
big news.
big news indeed.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right.
Thank you to our engineer. You threw him a big curveball there. So.
Yeah, you know, I like to keep them on their toes. All right, so Globe nominations came out last week, and we have an actor nominated from the show,
Yay!
which is...
William H. Macy!
There you go.
Francis!
Yes. I'm happy, but at the same time, everyone pulls in such a great performance that it's just a shame that it doesn't get more recognition all around, both in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. I think there's a lot of stuff there that could have been nominated.
I agree. The show always gets snubbed. You know, I really feel like there's such great performances. Like you said, there's so much great work going on that it's, you know, I'm very, very happy for him. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot of others deserving as well.
Agreed, 100% there. But I also feel like there's so much content out there, so it's hard to compete with what's going on. And what do these awards even represent? Because that wasn't the only snob of the season. So yeah.
These award shows are tough.
Yeah.
I don't like to read too much into them. Like the movies that win Best Picture or Best Drama TV Show, comedy, and so forth. I don't think it's like it's objectively not the best. It's not to say that it's a bad show by any means. Like, they're nominated because they are good, but the whole debate is just funny. Like, the people that really get into it, like, how could that be? That's no way.
Yeah.
Calm down, buddy.
Yeah.
Calm down.
They're more to life than award shows. I got you.
Yeah. So kudos to all the people recognized, and best of luck, William H. Macy. We'll find out soon when the Golden Globes air.
Predictions?
Predictions indeed.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I can, with 100% certainty, predict that this is our last show of the year.
You smart.
Well, that we don't get another episode next weekend because it's the holiday, and then after that, so it'll be 2 weeks before we get another episode. We'll be gone until such time. But hey, lots. I don't know. The teasers, to me, they throw a lot of things off. They kind of just disperse in what we might see, but nothing too concrete.
Which is good though, because I don't want to know too much. And I'm at a point where it's like I love Shameless, you know, so they don't really need to hook me much. I'm obviously going to watch the next episode because also we have fans that we love. They listen to our show, you know.
But we're supposed to be able to predict and come up with cool things, and I got nothing.
Well, yeah. We'll just, I don't know.
They make me sound dumb.
No, be more creative. Like, I don't know. We can imagine stuff like, Fiona's pregnant. Debbie becomes a lesbian. Carl shaves his head. Like, just say it's not, you know.
Okay.
Which I take back. Those are not my predictions. You go, guys. Go ahead. I'll give
I
mine
do
now.
think we had a new guy tonight. I thought Ford was actually very attractive.
Wanted to fix that door.
Uh-huh. And I get it because, yes, I like architecture. Those doors are a very, you know, neat thing, you know. So I like that he was willing to do it for free. So I wouldn't mind seeing her have a little fun with him.
Well, it looks like they have the discussion that Fiona's never lived by herself, and so there she is dancing in her underwear, and it looks like that's him that walks in on her,
Yeah.
which, you know, could lead to a sexual
Something,
fantasy.
something.
If I looked like Emily, I would be naked 24/7.
Emmy.
Emmy.
Yes.
I think people know by now I'm not good with names. It's the third one I messed up this episode. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting to finally see her be alone. She needs it, but I also feel that because she's been around so much chaos and so many people left and right her whole life, that we'll see her definitely. You know, if she moves away, she's not definitely knocking on the door of her family just to be around that chaos. I think you grow. Yeah, you're attached to it.
Well, it's less chaotic now, but which is
It's
good.
definitely not a calm household though.
Yeah. Well,
Got a middle-aged man crying. Got in the basement some druggies that are chained up.
yeah, but they're quiet. You know, they're doing their thing. Listen, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. But I the number one thing I hope is that Frank. I'm not interested in Frank going back to being Frank.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
not. I really. You know what? If he can handle a drink every now and then, fine, so be it. But please, just don't be the old Frank.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I wonder if he gets actual legal work in Canada through all this, or if he networks through all this and he finds, you know, someone that can get him a job. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be what's the word for it? Like a trafficker? Not human trafficker. He's a what's he
He's
called?
a
Someone
provider of goods, let's call it.
provider of goods. But a border. He does like illegal stuff across the border.
Yes.
So we'll see what goes there. Maybe it goes internationally. He does Mexico to get more money. Like
Yeah, Mexico's too far for him.
yeah,
He'd have to charge more than $200.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to see that there's more prospects in this, Phil.
Where he could grow his business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen. I want. It was good, as JJ said. It was a good dose of reality for Frank, but I don't want him to quit. I think that's easy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's too easy to quit.
Yeah.
So don't.
Yeah, I mean, there's other job. You can get a job. He just doesn't need to walk in thinking he should be a manager or like upper management after, you know, that job. Like, yeah, I think he needs to get a job, start down below, work back up again.
And I think part of it is when he's at the alibi and he's bitching and complaining. It's like, okay, no offense, as they've said, you've paid your taxes for two
Yeah.
weeks. And so the scene where the older guy is being scolded by the younger guy and he's sweeping and so forth, yeah, a very sad scene.
Yeah.
But so is the alibi one because everyone there has paid their dues. So no offense, Frank, you could take a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
You have not paid your dues.
Yeah, but Frank's always
society.
been so
Yeah.
entitled. Like, even when he was drunk in the middle of a ditch, like he values himself really, really highly. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, we'll see.
We shall.
And apart from that, I'm very curious to see what happens with Ian. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going down the best track. And hopefully Trevor's there when he absolutely needs him.
Yeah.
I still think the Ian story is where we're going to get some sadness. That's my one
He's
prediction I'm going to stick to.
Yeah, he's always been
I
a
think
sad
so too,
character.
but I
Yep.
think they always pull the rug underneath us. They always do, guys. So the Ian thing, yeah, something's gonna happen there, but I feel like there's gonna be a big, deeper surprise.
That we don't see
That's
coming.
my prediction. There's gonna be a deeper surprise.
Okay.
Very intuitive here.
Alrighty, well, there you have it. Have a great rest of your 2017, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's right.
Merry Christmas, everything.
Enjoy the holidays. And enjoy the Gallaghers, catch up, rewatch, all that fun jazz. You know, hopefully the one thing I hope on everyone, don't have a Gallagher Christmas.
No.
Or be around your loved ones. They always are around their loved ones.
Yeah, it's being around their loved ones, you know. Be around loved ones, just not like the Gallaghers.
I don't know.
under
They
the-
like to party. Like I'd be down to kick it with them, but in the meantime.
Okay. Where can people follow you?
You can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter, jj.jurgens on Instagram.
You can follow me on Instagram at Bonjour Juliet or Bonjour Juliet, however you want to say it. That is hello in French. I'm finally going home. It's been a year. I'm going to Paris, and I will be posting a lot of stuff from there. So if you like Paris and you like me, go check that out.
Okay.
And you can follow me at Phil Svitek, and of course, follow at AfterBuzz TV. If you haven't done so, click subscribe, whether it's on your favorite podcast app or over on YouTube. However you consume us, we're there, available to you. And of course, shout out to at Haley Clover. She keeps us on point most weeks when she is here. She couldn't be here today. That's all.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got nothing. We'll see you
All right.
next year.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.